You're tuning in to the Black Hollywood Live Network, featuring news, interviews, and commentary on all things Black Hollywood. Hollywood redefined. From Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is Black Hollywood Live Next, featuring intimate and in-depth interviews with Black Hollywood's next edition of stars and influencers. Black Hollywood Live. Hollywood redefined.
You're listening to Black Hollywood Live.
And now, the host for Black Hollywood Live Next.
What's up?
Hey.
Welcome to another edition of BHL Next, right here, BlackHollywoodLive.com. We always talk about what's next and upcoming, who you need to know, what other stuff is going on in the world. Today's no different. I am Megan Thomas at Meg Soup on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Who are you, lovely lady?
And I'm Courtney Tezeno. You guys can keep in touch at Teznos on Twitter and Instagram.
Yes, and be sure to go to podcast1.com. It's a survey about our show. If you like us, tell us. If you don't, tell us. Because that's the only way we get better, honestly. So go to podcast1.com, fill out the survey. It takes like 3 minutes. It's so easy. Okay?
Please give us feedback.
Yes, and if you have any questions for our guest today, use the hashtag here I go.
BHL Next.
BHL Next. I do too many shows here. BHL Next. Use the hashtag. Wonderful. And so today, guess who we have? He's handsome. He's got beautiful eyes, a great smile.
Great smile.
Super talented. He can sing. He can dance. You might have seen him as Michael Jordan on the Michael Jordan movie back in the day. Or if you watch Nickelodeon, you've seen him on the Fresh Meat Band.
Yes.
Give it up for Tommy Hobson.
Woo, 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 woo.
Yes. We're so glad to have you here, Tommy.
Thank you. Wow, you went way back.
I know, I had to.
Yes, that is probably the one role I knew I wasn't going to get. Going in. I was wrong.
Oh, we're gonna have to talk about that.
Right. Let's go ahead and just dive right in. So you started at the age of 6, man.
Yes.
That is so early. Did you always know you wanted to be an actor?
Yes. I told my parents. I said I was watching a McDonald's commercial or something, and I said, I want to be like that kid. And I had an aunt who was an actress, and my parents went to her and they said, well, he wants to try it. Let's let him try it. Let's get it out of his system, and then we can open this up again when he's a little older. And it sort of took off, and my mother never got to go back to work. And,
that's great.
So I did it all the way through until high school, until I graduated high school, and then I thought I was going to go be a doctor.
So why?
Really?
Wait. So you didn't want to act?
My parents, who are phenomenally wonderful people. We need another hour to talk about how great they are. But they treated it like a sport or like an extracurricular. So it was like your grades stay up, your behavior is great. You go to college, you bring home a diploma.
Right.
Those are the rules. And
right.
So I loved it so much that I was a straight A student. Even though I was rarely in school, I somehow managed to be a straight A student, and my behavior was like impeccable. And
that's where you got the A in.
Yeah, and I went to college, and a year into being pre-med was like, this is not going to work.
Right.
And my mom, my dad were like, yeah, no one thought you were going to be a doctor. We didn't mean you couldn't be an actor. We just meant we wanted you to have an education. So
yeah.
I finished college. My diploma hangs on my dad's wall, and now I'm back here.
Well, look at you.
What
You
did
did
degree in?
Theater.
Oh, yes.
I changed it. I was pre-med for a semester and a half.
Okay.
It was awful.
Oh my goodness.
I did well. I don't like blood.
Well, yeah.
Yeah,
What are you gonna
wrong
do?
profession.
I was like, maybe all the nurses can deal with the blood, and I'll just.
Okay. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
And you were raised in LA. It's so not that many LA locals.
There
How was
are
it
not.
being raised here?
It was great, actually. My whole family's here. So, like I always tell people, my grandmothers are best friends. Like, that's how close my family is, because
Really?
we're all here.
Oh, that's awesome.
So I grew up in LA for 6 years. Then we moved to a city called Upland out in the Inland Empire. It's like 45 minutes from LA. And now everyone's there. And which is funny, because now the kids are all in LA doing our thing. And the grown-ups are, out in Upland hanging out. And so whenever I go out there, it's one-stop shop. It's like my parents live here. My dad's parents live a half mile this way. My mom's mom lives like a mile that way.
Wow.
It's all,
Keeping it in the family.
Yeah.
And then you've been in the spotlight since such an early age. How do you keep that balance between being normal and being famous?
You know what? I always say, I think when you have people nearby, like whenever I need a reality check, my reality is right here. So I don't have to run away to find it. It's right here. If I get overwhelmed, I get in the car and I drive to my parents' house, and I will sleep for 16 hours and like float in the pool and eat a hamburger. My dad makes the best hamburgers and steaks, and then I come back the next day and life's better again. So I think for me that's the balance is, and for people who know my sister Tiana, who works here, she's very good at. She has made it her life goal to keep me grounded.
Does she? Does she keep you in check? Like
I don't think I need it, but she apparently has decided that I do. So.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
And let's go ahead and go back to this diploma that's on your dad's wall. A lot of people don't know that you graduated from Yale University. Let's not bypass that little fact. That's huge.
Yeah.
Okay. So how was that experience in college, and how has it shaped you as an actor?
It was great. I remember when I first got in, I only applied because my best friend got in and early for soccer, and he said, "Let's go. Come on, you can get in." I was like, "Okay, all right, well,
you get in. Everyone gets in at Yale.
All right, let's give it a shot. Sorry, parents, I'm wasting your money." And then I got in, and then I wasn't going to go. I was going to go to UCLA or USC, which I was like keeps me at home. And then I went away, and I actually made a deal with USC that I would give it a semester at Yale, and if I didn't like it, I could come back and go to USC because I'd gotten into this elite theater program they have there.
Nice.
And so they said, we will hold your spot for 1 semester. Wow. And about 2 months in, I joined an a cappella group, which is huge. It sounds crazy, but it's like being the captain of the football team is being the lead singer of an a cappella group. And so I was in an a cappella group. I did a lot of theater, made a lot of friends, and all of a sudden 4 years were up, and I did call and tell him thank you so much.
Like, did you call and tell him they were holding your spot the whole time?
Yeah, I did call and say
that
I'm so
doesn't
sorry.
happen, man.
Right.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so it was great, and I got the great opportunity the last 2 years. I met a graduate student who was auditing a class I was taking from the Yale School of Drama, which is like the best drama school in the country, and he invited me to come work with the drama school. So I spent my last 2 years working with drama students and training with undergraduate students, so it was kind of this really fun world where I was being challenged by some of the best actors in the world to sort of step my game up and get my Shakespeare on and all that stuff, and then when it was time to graduate, the school was nice enough to tell me that I was good to go. They're like, you don't have to come, you took the graduate school education kind of by force, so you get to go be an actor.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Great. Yeah.
Everybody's dreaming to be a working actor. Now, as a working actor, you have a lot of young fans.
Yes.
A lot of them, which is amazing.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, it's fantastic. But are there any roles or projects you would pass on just to keep that image, that reputation up?
I have in the past. It's sort of the reason why it's very hard when you do a show for a network like Nickelodeon or Disney because you want to protect that image. And even though for me my role models are my parents and I've never looked outside of my family for people to guide me on how to behave, I do understand that I have become a role model. Yes. So I try to make good choices. Now, as the show's sort of coming to an end, the cartoon is starting, I've now been freed of a lot of that responsibility, and so now I'm starting to see where we can push lines here and there, because I don't know that people know that I can act. They don't. We used to film next door to the Glee kids, and we used to, we don't really know each other, but we would, sort of see each other sometimes. But we're the only people that know how hard it is to do what we do, and people underestimate it. But you're singing, you're dancing, you're acting,
right? And
6, maybe 7 days a week. It's it's a lot, but I feel like I'm ready for everything now. There's nothing that could really surprise me.
Right.
Yeah, that's serious school.
It is.
Yeah.
That's school.
But considering that, are there any, what's one thing you would never do? One role you'd never do just for the sake of those kid fans?
At least for right now, I probably would keep my clothes on, at least from the waist down. Although the running joke is, I'm like, I should just go to Showtime and be like, hey,
See all this?
You want to corrupt somebody? Let's do this. But I think the great thing about having kid fans, I ran into Lawrence Fishburne once, who had a daughter who at the time was 3. Now she's probably 6 or 7, and he said they'll grow up with you. He said,
right.
And when it's time for you to move on, they'll be ready and they'll remember what you meant to them when they were kids, and they'll follow you forever. And I thought, oh, good, great.
So they're not going anywhere.
Well,
yeah.
But, people forget that Lawrence Fishburne was on Pee-wee's Playhouse, and that Morgan Freeman did a kid show in the 70s. These are people who, did these shows, understood what it took to do them, and then went on from there. So,
right.
Yeah.
Right. So when you were a kid actor, you were on 227.
God, yeah.
You were on what? In Living Color. You were in Clubhouse Detectives. That was actually a good movie.
That was.
Yeah.
Really good movie.
Yes. One black guy in Utah for a month and a half. I wore a hat the whole movie because they couldn't find anybody to cut my hair.
Oh, you serious?
Yeah, it was good times.
That's so sad. These are black people problems. Like, like get my makeup right, anything.
Can't get my hair right.
What was your favorite role as a child?
Oh man, my favorite role as a child. I'd have to say probably the work I did on A Different World was really great. It was fun. First of all, Debbie Allen had been a mentor of mine from when I was a kid. So it was nice to work with her and do some acting. And then we had one episode that was like a Black History episode where Lena Horne was being honored on the show. So Lena Horne is there, you know, and Jennifer Lewis was playing the dean of the school at the time. She was there. There was an episode when Patti LaBelle and Diane Carroll were on the show because they played, I think Patti LaBelle was Dwayne Wayne's mother and Diane Carroll was Whitley's mother. I mean, so these are kind of the legends you get to hang out with. Then when you're like 11, 12, you don't really understand. To me, Lena Horne was Glinda from The Wiz. But but as an adult, I'm like, wow, what a really awesome experience that was, you know, to have that.
Yes, we have a video I want to show you.
Oh, God.
See if you remember this.
Yes.
Oh, my God.
I told you I made it. Yes, I did.
Wait, let me see.
Hurry up.
Your voice ain't even dropped yet.
Look at
This
you.
is the devastation montage.
It's not so bad.
Run.
Look at this. Run.
How many times do you have to run?
Probably like 5 or 6 times.
That's not that bad.
And you see I slowed down a little bit because I was trying to time it for this truck that was also driving down the street.
So young. Look at you.
Look at you.
And Debbie Allen.
Michael Jordan, what you doing home so early? Are you coming down with something?
Major flashback moment right now.
You better not turn your back to your mama.
What happened?
Nothing.
Ooh, must be a pretty big nothing.
I didn't make varsity.
Oh, baby, I'm sorry.
Okay, I just wanted to show you this clip because I was like, I didn't even realize that you were 15-year-old Michael Jordan in the Michael Jordan biography, basically.
I have a picture because they got all the Michael Jordans together from baby to like 3 years old to 9 years old to 15 years old to adult.
Right.
They got us all together for a photo shoot. It makes no sense.
None of y'all look alike.
None of us look alike. I mean, and then like for him to go from me at 15 to a year later when they get to the thing, the guy's like a foot and a half taller than me and like 15 shades darker than me. And I was like, okay, clearly like you don't care about any of these things. They don't matter to you. And I was mad the whole time we were auditioning because I grew up playing soccer. My dad's a big basketball player. Basketball's big in my family. I knew I wasn't going to be tall. I went with soccer. And I had the championship game the night of my first audition. And the audition was in Westwood. And I was like, I knew that it would take too long to get home. So I'm at the audition. They're behind. And I'm pissed off because I'm going to miss my soccer game. I got there for the second half. We won. Okay. Wow. The next day, I get a call back for the movie, but also have to play another soccer game.
Oh,
so I'm like, are you kidding? Are you kidding?
The worst
This
luck.
is the worst luck. And then I booked it, and I was like, of course I booked it. And then there's a scene.
You better book it.
And there's a scene right after that where I'm trying to show the coach how hard I'm going to work, and I had to dribble backwards the entire length of the basketball court while delivering this monologue about how committed I was to the thing, and then make a layup with like my tongue out. And I was like, this is.
Did you do it? Like,
I did.
Wow.
I did. But it was like I was like at that time that was like the most challenging thing anyone had ever asked me to do. You want me to dribble backwards, go through my legs, and then turn around and make this layup with my tongue out, all while giving a monologue. Okay.
Right. So you already had these basketball skills. You didn't have to learn them.
But I kind of had thought that I wasn't that great at basketball. So I guess that taught
You
me that
psyched
I was
yourself
better than I
out.
thought.
Yeah.
I was.
You look good. Hey, you
Yeah.
look good doing it.
Yeah.
And did you get to meet Michael Jordan?
I did offset.
Okay.
My uncle, Reggie Theus, played professional basketball in the 80s and like early 90s, and they're friends. So when he was filming Space Jam, he took me over to the set, and we hung out for a little bit. And he signed some basketball cards for me that I should find because they're probably worth a lot of money.
Did he see the biography? Did he say you did a good job?
He did mention it, and I can't remember if that was before or after. Space Jam was before or after. He, as politically as I can say this, he was not the nicest man.
You're not the first person who said that.
So it was literally like, I'm only giving you 30 seconds of my time because I respect your uncle. What is it? And my uncle was like, when you meet him, have the cap off the pin already, okay? Have the card out of the sleeve. Only ask him to sign one card. That's it. Like, there were all these, like, I was like, I mean, I'm okay. So after I met him, I was like, cool, awesome. That was great. Wonderful meeting somebody.
Right.
Yeah.
I played you. By the way.
I'm not going to buy any of your shoes anymore. How about that?
Right.
Did you still buy them?
No. I didn't.
Okay. So in 2009, you were part of Nickelodeon's The Fresh Beat Band for years.
Yeah.
Okay. You played Shout. Mm-hmm. And you played the piano or keyboard. Did you play that in real life? Or is it just like you just going like this?
I did not when I got the job. They said, what do you play? I said, I don't play anything. I did have to play the drums for a TV movie once. And I got good rhythm, so I should play the drums. And they're like, yeah, well, we need you to be like the lead male singer. We can't put you on the drums. You're going to play the keyboard. And I was like, but I don't play the keyboard. So I took lessons, and I learned how to play like all of our music so that like when we're filming, they could show my hands. And like I'd be like, okay, are you showing my hands right now?
Right.
Don't show my face, because I'd be like... And then like, now it's time for the close-up. All right, let's do it. So yeah, I do want to continue to learn though. I'm sort of stuck at Fresh Beat songs now, and I meet all these kids who are like, I play the piano because of you, and I'm like, that is so great, and I bet you're better than me because I had no time to learn. I just had enough time to learn basic chording, and then our songs.
Do you ever, because it's a kid show, so you always have to be extra animated, extra smiley. Are there ever times when you're out and you're just like, whatever? You're frumpy and then you're mad and then these kids come up to you. Do you have to like put it on?
My family says that at family gatherings I've become less like jovial. I guess I used to like entertain all of them, and now I just sort of sit and will be very quiet and listen. And then there's babies in the family who don't really know me as their cousin. They know me more from the show.
Right.
And so they're like, hey, what's going on? I'm like, hey, little kid, you good? You good? And my mom's like, Tommy, come on.
They love you.
You do it for strangers. Do it for your cousin. I'm like, I just want to hang out with Granny. Because the thing is, it like my speaking voice is here.
Yeah.
And then when I see the kid, like I'm out the Grove or something, I see a kid. I look at the kid, and I'm like, hey, what's going on? They're like, I'm like, okay, hold on. Hey, are you good? What's happening? Are you having a good time? And and they're like, oh, there he is. So it's a lot. It's a very like.
You're living a double life.
Yeah. Well, I told them, I said, faux joy, as I call it. I said, fake joy is exhausting.
It is. Yeah.
And we have a very good time, the four of us. But like you get home at the end of the day and you're just done.
Right.
Like you're spent. All your joy went to 4 cameras, over the course of 16 hours. So
I can imagine. Yeah. So you've done a lot of theater as well.
Yes.
Especially that being your major in college. What would you rather pick if you had to? Theater, TV, or film?
Movies.
If theater paid like TV and film paid, I would only do theater.
Really? Why?
Theater, there's an immediacy to it. There's it's a tightrope act. You literally don't know. Everything could fall apart. And I've been in shows in the middle of a live performance and everything has fallen apart. And then the question is not who's going to call cut and let us start again, but how do we fix it?
How do you get out of it?
And that's where like your brain stays active. It's like, oh my goodness, I had a castmate once who got a nosebleed in the middle of like a fight scene, and he just decided that the right thing to do was acknowledge his nose was bleeding and then like rub it all over his hands and then like smear it across my face. And I remember thinking, Tommy, the person wants to murder you.
Right.
And is a bit of a germaphobe, and it's like, this is not okay. Tommy, who's in this play right now playing this other person, has to finish this. And we finished it. And my best friend and my parents were in the audience, and when it was over, they're like, that fake blood was great. And I was like, whoa, that's the best. If you guys thought that it was fake blood, if I tricked you into believing I was not freaking out about the blood on my face, then yeah, I love theater.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, I don't know. I'd be like, no, we got to stop.
No, we talked afterwards.
I can't believe you did.
Let us know what upcoming.
Well, actually, I want to say you're also an upcoming. You have an EP, right?
Yes.
Beyond the Beat.
Yeah.
What kind of music is it, by the way?
It's like R&B pop music. It's basically the people I was working with who are really, really great people. Andrea Martin being one of them. She's written for everybody, and she came to see the show. She was like, "Do you want to sing?" And I was like, I don't know. No one in my family sings. I never really thought about singing outside of maybe theater. I jumped into this job. All of a sudden, people think, I'm a singer. So I said, sure, I'll come to New York. We'll make some music. And she said, I think that, because I wanted to go straight into like let's make some serious music about like love. And she was like, no, we have to start you have to make the bridge. You have to step far enough away from the Fresh Beat Band that people hear you on your own, but not so far away from it that the kids still can't hear it. That like the parent's gonna want to play it for their kid because you're on the cover. So it's safely. It's a safe distance from the Fresh Beat Band, but not into
Not
bump
very
and
white.
grind.
Okay, good.
Yeah, so
I don't think they're ready for the bump and grind.
they're not ready for it. I mean, and it was such a learning experience. I had never done anything. I mean, recording a Fresh Beat song is pretty easy at this point for me. Like I can go in and in 45 minutes the song's done, because I know the formula. I know that you want me to sing this verse. I know you want me to scream these ad libs, because that's what I've been doing for 60 of these episodes and 285 of these tour shows and things. And but that was different. That was like we had to sit and talk, and we had to say, like, I'm not going to sing like that. I can't. That's not what I do. That's what you do. Like, it was like a nice little. And then she gave me 2 songs that were meant for Michael Jackson to record, and I almost died.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's an honor.
She was on her way. She was in the beauty shop having her hair done to go to LA to record these songs, and he died. And she played them for me, and I was like, can I please have them? And so she gave me 2 of them, one of which ended up on the album. And I mean, it's just such an experience.
Right.
Can't wait to hear it.
Yeah. It's called It Is What It Is, which was almost the name of the album. But I did a contest on Twitter, and someone was like, Beyond the Beat. And I was like, that's actually genius.
Right.
Yeah, let's do it.
That's a good one. So what are some upcoming projects that you have?
I just finished a movie called The Stars Are Already Dead over at Paramount. I'm not sure. Should be out by the end of the year. It was fun. It was drama, which was interesting. Got to do a little swearing, a little relationship drama.
Okay.
My character is this sort of free-loving guy with this sort of hippie girlfriend, and she's a little bit too free love. And always in people's business, and so the act of trying to like calm her down ends up getting us in all these fights. And like Leah Thompson was in it, which was great.
Oh, she's so funny.
Katie Leclerc, who also plays her daughter on the ABC Family show. Where
I know what you're
daughter
talking about.
Switched at birth.
Yeah.
She was in it. It was just a really, really fun, like palate cleansing sort of experience. I'm executive producing a short film in July, so I'm excited about that. It's my production company's first venture into actually producing.
Yay!
So far, I've been the sole employee, but this will be the first time that
It's okay.
everyone else is in there. I just was blessed to sign with some really great agents who are really excited, and feel like the whole team's finally like together in a way where we can really, now that we know that I'm sort of done being the face of this show, I'm now just going to be kind of the voice of the show, that I can, which is weird. Parents are getting a little bit upset. They're like, we want more live show. I'm like, that's great. And I love that you love the show. You forget, though, that your kids grow up and they grow out of us.
Right.
And there's something for you that's great about keeping your kids' favorite things locked in a certain box.
Yeah.
But I want to grow up, too.
Right.
Like there are other things that I want to do, and this allows me to stay connected with you guys, but it allows me also to
Make that good transition.
Make the good
We have to find some new black people to put on the show.
Stop. You're crazy.
We have to find another black man.
Hey, they can have my voice as long as they want it. It's
Right.
the easy. I wish someone had told me that I wanted to do voiceover work.
Wow.
As you see, I don't shave anymore. My manager was like, Bubba, you've been going to the gym? I was like, I have. I weigh like 15 pounds more than I weighed a year ago because I can. Because,
Right.
it doesn't matter if I look like a grown man anymore.
Because you're grown
Yes.
now.
I'm grown.
Yay.
Finally.
Finally.
And then let's talk about relationships.
Please.
Are you in one?
I missed that
I
on that
am.
convo.
I am. I've been in one for forever and ever and a day. In a good way. That sounded bad. No, it's been about 9 years and some change.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I remember thinking, this was going to be like this sort of fun, sort of frivolous experience, and then I looked up and
9 years later.
9 years later. So yeah, so it's funny because I don't really talk about it only because it feels like there should be something in this world that is mine, So I will say yes. I am not available, but we'll talk later.
Take
about all that other
it.
You
stuff.
better.
All right, take it.
Yeah, I'm actually really excited. Because I keep thinking. I remember I told someone we were in this generation of people, who are so used to like the new iPhone coming out every year and like a new laptop every 6 months. And I was really concerned that I was never going to be able to fall in love and stay in love, because I was like, what if I'm always concerned that there's like
someone better?
You know, and then you meet someone who makes you laugh a lot and you're like, oh crap, it does. Okay, all right.
This is easy.
Yeah,
this is my best friend.
This is really, really easy.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Oh, love. All right,
I
so
love.
before we get out of here, where can we find you on social media?
Oh, everything is at Tommy Hobson, H-O-B as in boy, S-O-N. So Twitter, Instagram, Facebook.
Are you hopping on Snapchat yet?
I am on Snapchat. I don't know what my name is on Snapchat because I never send snaps. I just end up watching people's Snapchats. And then the website is www.tommyhobson.com, and the CD is on there. And I try to update it with news and stuff whenever there's anything to talk about.
Perfect. Yeah. And where can we find you?
You guys can keep in touch with me at Tezeno on Twitter and Instagram and on Snapchat. Whoop.
And you can find me, Megan Thomas, on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Meg Scoop, like scoop of ice cream. Make sure you stay tuned next week because we always have what's up and what's next. Bye.
We'll see you guys later.
From producers Maria Menounos, Dario Kristen, Tiana Hobson, Kevin Undergaro, and the entire BHL crew, we would like to thank you for supporting Black Hollywood Live, the first online broadcast network dedicated to African American entertainment. For questions and comments, contact us at info@blackhollywoodlive.com. Like us on Facebook, tweet us, or Instagram us at BHL Online. And I'm your BHL announcer, Scipio. Instagram me at Planet Scipio. Thank you for tuning in.
Hollywood Redefined.
The views expressed here are those of the host only and do not necessarily reflect the views of BHL or its owners or principals.